Deep-sea divers have some of the most terrifying jobs in the world. Although the research can be exciting, especially when new details are uncovered, deep-sea diving is far more serious than it sounds because you never truly know what you might encounter. In this video, we explore the 15 strangest things ever caught on camera by deep-sea divers. Number 15. Sperm whale encounter. From glowing jellies to burrowing worms, the research crew aboard Nautilus encountered some fascinating marine life. They couldn't resist. This sperm whale was filmed from a remotely operated underwater vehicle ROV below the Gulf of Mexico. The animal caught the crew by surprise due to their long dive time and ability to travel long distances underwater. These whales are rarely seen on the water surface. Even remotely operated vehicles have a hard time finding them. This sperm whale seemed curious as it was captured investigating the glowing ROV, allowing the crew to explore it more. Sperm whales dive 2,250 meters deep searching for squid, their most preferred prey. Although this vehicle traveled 598 meters below the water, it captured the beast. Mature males grow to 16 meters long, but may reach up to 20.7 meters. They have the largest brain on Earth, more than 5 times heavier than humans. Their oil was a prime target for the whaling industry, as it was used to produce lubricants, candles, and oil lamps. Number 14. Baltic Sea Anomaly. A group of underwater explorers unearthed the Baltic Sea Anomaly in 2011. It is a 60-meter wide entity with a vast disk twice the size of a football field. It rests in the freezing waters of the Gulf of Bothnia in the Baltic Sea region. Scientists were shocked to see this unprecedented finding. This mystery lies in the waters between Sweden and Finland. It resembles a mushroom, rising at 3 to 4 meters from the seabed. The main object has 3 straight edges, boxes drawn, and construction lines. The huge figure on the object resembles an unidentified black material. Many say it is a giant stone or a portal to the other world, while others call it an underwater Stonehenge or a strange stone circle formation made by an ancient civilization. The mystery surrounding this entity is still unknown because explorers have not identified why it is at the bottom of the sea. Submerged at depths of nearly 91 meters underwater, it is roundish and has a circumference of about 18 meters. Most scientists investigating the phenomenon have given up on it, saying it is an unidentified flying object. Number 13. MS Zenobia. MS Zenobia was a Swedish-built ferry built in 1979. It sank only 1 year after its first voyage. The wreck now rests on its port side around 138 feet of water near Larnaca, Cyprus. This ferry left Malmö, Sweden in May 1980, loaded with tractor-trailers and other cargo. Between Cyprus and Athens, it began experiencing some mechanical faults because too much ballast water was pumped in. After ejecting the excessive water, the captain headed to Larnaca, the second to last stop. As it was in the harbor, the same issues resurfaced. This time, the engineers traced it to the computerized pumping system and a software glitch. Since the issues worsened, the captain decided to tow the ship away from the harbor to prevent it from becoming an obstruction should it sink. Unfortunately, it sank 5 days after arriving in Larnaca with all the cargo inside. Thank goodness no casualty was recorded. The Zenobia is a perfect dive for all divers, irrespective of your expertise. It starts at 16 meters, but only requalified divers can penetrate the accommodation blocks and car deck. Number 12. Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is located in the Pacific east of the Philippines. It covers 124 miles east of the Mariana Islands. The distance between the surface of the ocean and the trench's deepest point, the Challenger Deep, lies 200 miles southwest of the U.S. territory of Guam. Researchers say if Mount Everest were dropped into the Mariana Trench, its peak would be over a mile underwater. The Mariana Trench is a global network of deep troughs cut across the ocean floor. It forms when 2 tectonic plates collide. In 1875, HMS Challenger said the trench measured about 5 miles. In 1951, researchers returned to the site and concluded the area was 7 miles deep. The majority of this area is now a U.S. protected zone. To undertake research in the area, you need permission from the government. So far, the Challenger Deep, the Serena Deep, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife have permits to explore the area. Due to its depth, the Mariana Trench is clothed in perpetual darkness, with temperatures only a few degrees above freezing. Scientists have since debated the possibilities of life existing under such extreme conditions. The ocean is indeed an incredible place where the most unimaginable happen. Number 11. RMS Republic. A few years before the almighty Titanic sank into the North Atlantic's unsafe water, the RMS Republic also went down in a similar incident. The vessel went down almost 300 feet into the shark-infested ocean. It sank with an unimaginable treasure that would make anyone wealthy a few minutes after finding them. The RMS Republic was one of the most beautiful liners of its time. It departed in January 1909 and was heading to the Mediterranean ports. Amid the dense fog, she survived the night but collided with SS Florida during the day. The slam was so fierce that it destroyed the engine room, which ceased power to the liner. Thankfully, most passengers were rescued, but 3 lives were still lost. Although rescuers rescued SS Florida, RMS Republic sank deep to the ocean floor. At the time, the ship was the most technologically advanced. Its builders had boasted that it was unsinkable. The cargo in the vessel was not spared, and there was no way to retrieve it. Rumors say a lost treasure worth billions of dollars is hidden in this ship. Number 10. Phantom jellyfish. The giant phantom jellyfish is one of the largest jellyfish species in the world. This famous animal was captured in the depths of Monterey Bay, California. Marine biologists piloting a remote submarine found the creature bobbing along with its bell-shaped head and 4 long arms. These jellies live up to their name as their bell measures 3 feet wide and their arms reach lengths of 33 feet. Although they are huge, they are hard to find. After its first discovery in 1899, this elusive sea creature has only been seen 100 times. Researchers have completed thousands of dives to Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute and have seen them only 9 times. These sea creatures are hidden because they lurk 21,900 feet below the water's surface. This ocean depth is called the midnight zone, where sunlight doesn't penetrate. Other fish species like cuttlefish, giant squid, anglerfish, etc. also live in the zone. Thanks to remotely operated vehicles, we can see these rare animals often. While little is known about this animal, researchers suspect they use their oral arms to tangle up prey and bring them close to their mouth. Number 9. Coelacanth. The coelacanth is a primitive-looking animal thought to have gone extinct about 65 million years ago. However, in 1938, a South African museum curator on a local trawler ignited a debate about how this bizarre lobe-finned fish fits into the evolution of land animals. There are only 2 known species of this animal on the planet. The first lives near the Comoros Islands off the east coast of Africa, and the second is found in the waters of Sulawesi, Indonesia. Scientists believe this animal's unique characteristics represent an early step in the evolution of fish to 4-legged animals like amphibians. Coelacanth are elusive creatures that live in depths 2,300 feet below the surface. They are huge and can reach up to 6.5 feet large or more. Scientists say they live up to 60 years or more. The most striking feature of this animal is its paired lobe fins that extend away from its body-like legs and move in an alternating pattern. Other outstanding characteristics include a hinged joint in the skull that allows the fish to widen its mouth to catch larger prey. They also have an oil-filled tube that serves as a backbone and thick scales common to only extinct fish. Number 8. Lost city underwater. Scientists have lost count of how many lost cities exist. However, they have details of some like Thonis Heracleion in ancient Egypt. This city is one of the greatest discoveries underwater. Its existence is recorded in a few inscriptions of ancient texts, but these writings were not detailed about the address. For centuries, Thonis Heracleion was considered a myth, spoken of in legends but never confirmed by evidence. That all changed in the year 2000 when French marine archaeologist Frank Gaudio and his team finally uncovered the city beneath layers of sand and sediment in Abu Qir Bay. What they found stunned the world. Colossal statues of Egyptian gods, intricate temple ruins, and perfectly preserved inscriptions that had lain hidden for over a millennium. Massive red granite blocks, once part of grand sanctuaries, stood eerily upright amid the murky waters, as if the city had frozen in time at the moment of its destruction. Divers even uncovered dozens of small boats and stone anchors, silent remnants of the bustling trade that once connected Egypt to the Mediterranean world. Among the artifacts was a 16-foot statue of the god Hapi, symbolizing the Nile's fertility, an image of prosperity now hauntingly submerged in silence. Coins, jewelry, and pottery were found scattered across the site, offering glimpses into daily life in a city that was once alive with color, prayer, and commerce. Perhaps most fascinating of all, the discoveries revealed inscriptions mentioning both Thonis and Heracleion, 2 names that ancient scholars long debated, now proven to belong to the same city. The sheer scale and preservation of the ruins suggest a civilization that thrived before vanishing suddenly, swallowed by the sea it once ruled. The port flourished at the mouth of the Nile in the 7th century BC. It was a vital center for trade and culture during its heydays, but soon disappeared after it was flooded. Heracleion was located 32 kilometers northeast of Alexandria on the Mediterranean Sea. Studies show that the city served Egyptians and Greeks and was known by its native name. Its mythical beginning dates back to the 12th century, and its importance grew exceedingly during the last days of the pharaohs. By the end of the 2nd century BC, the land where this city was built suffered soil liquefaction. While a few residents remained afterward, the city sank underwater by the end of the 8th century AD. Number 7. Cenote Angelita. Below the Cenote Angelita cave in the Yucatan Peninsula lies strange underground flowing water. This beautiful natural phenomenon is thanks to the presence of hydrogen sulfide. This compound is heavier than salt water, deposited at the bottom of the river, and forms a distinct layer that serves as an underwater river. To the divers who first ventured into it, the sight was otherworldly. A river within a river, complete with what looked like misty clouds drifting above it. When the hydrogen sulfide layer meets oxygen from the upper water, it creates a ghostly white fog, giving the illusion of an underwater landscape straight out of a dream. Some describe it as swimming through a sunken forest, with the eerie outlines of tree branches rising from the depths as though they were reaching for the surface. The experience is both beautiful and unsettling, as divers pass through what feels like an invisible veil separating two worlds. Veteran diver Anatoly Balashchin, who documented one of the earliest explorations, said it was like discovering a hidden world beneath the earth, where light bends and shadows dance in ways never seen before. The dense hydrogen sulfide layer even affects visibility, making lights from diving torches flicker and diffuse like candle flames in smoke. Many divers report an overwhelming sense of awe and dread as they descend through the layers, feeling as though they are entering an ancient, sacred realm untouched by time. Some even claim to feel a sudden drop in temperature and a faint sulfurous smell through their gear as they cross into the lower levels. This river reaches depths of over 100 meters and has several alternating fresh and salt water. The colorful branches and foliage of the nearby trees floating along the river banks add to the beauty of this water. The cenote describes a cave with fresh water. It is also used to define a sinkhole in many parts of the world, especially Central America. The ancient Mayan people considered it sacred and used it to celebrate religious rites and human rituals. You must be well girded to visit this cave, as it is not for the faint of heart. The water is clear for the first 20 meters, but suddenly becomes murky as one dives deeper. The dive goes as deep as 55 meters below water and accommodates only experienced divers. Number 6. Giant unidentified sea creature oil rig. There may never be a time when scientists will explore all parts of the ocean. While divers have successfully swam to the most unassuming areas, some spots have been left undiscovered. Those areas house some unknown sea monster. This video, released in 2012, proves that some hidden areas in the ocean exist. A deep-sea oil rig video captured a strange creature off the coast of Great Britain. The footage, recorded by a remotely operated vehicle inspecting the rig's lower structure, shows a translucent, pulsating organism drifting eerily through the water, its gelatinous body shifting shape as if breathing. Workers aboard the rig were initially startled, believing they had encountered an undiscovered species, or perhaps a deep-sea predator lurking in the murk. The creature's size appeared enormous compared to the machinery around it, with its delicate filaments waving rhythmically in the current, creating an almost hypnotic motion. When the footage made its way to the internet, it ignited a global debate among marine biologists and conspiracy theorists alike. Some argued it resembled a giant jellyfish from the genus Dipsteria, rarely seen alive and known for its ghostly, bag-like form that expands and contracts in the dark. Others proposed more bizarre explanations, including the possibility of an alien life form drawn to the ocean's electromagnetic activity. The video's mysterious quality, grainy lighting, vast darkness, and the slow movement of the being only deepened the enigma. Even experts from NOAA admitted that without physical samples, determining its true identity would remain nearly impossible. As the clip circulated worldwide, it became a haunting reminder that humanity still knows so little about what lurks beneath the waves. This sighting got everyone talking. Some wondered where the monster came from and what species it represented. Others claimed it was a jellyfish or a used condom. If you guessed it was a jellyfish, you might be close to the answer because it looked like one. Researchers had every reason to believe it wasn't a whale placenta because of the chances of it sinking to 5,000 feet deep water. The creature was found at depths of about 723 meters deep. On the opposite sides of the creature were two large tubular-shaped processes with a yellowish-brown tinge. Don't be shocked to hear that it might be the first and only time scientists would see this kind of creature. Given that 95% of the world's oceans are unexplored, you can guess why the details of this creature remain unknown. Now it's time for today's topic. In early 2025, marine biologist Daniel Cross led a deep-sea expedition into Belize's Great Blue Hole, one of the planet's most mysterious oceanic sinkholes. The mission was meant to study coral erosion and deep-water microbial life. But what his team recorded that night has since become one of the most chilling pieces of underwater footage shared online. At a depth of around 360 feet, Daniel's helmet camera captured strange low-frequency vibrations that caused the submersible sonar to malfunction. Seconds later, his light revealed a massive, slow-moving form emerging from the darkness, smooth, gray, and easily the size of a passenger jet. The creature appeared to circle him once before vanishing into the black abyss, leaving behind a sound that shook the equipment. When Daniel surfaced, visibly shaken, his dive recorder showed pressure anomalies that suggested something enormous was moving beneath him. Experts reviewing the footage debated whether it was an undiscovered whale species, a colossal squid, or something ancient that predates known marine life. The footage, released anonymously on Reddit, has sparked global debate. Some call it authentic scientific evidence, others dismiss it as digital manipulation. What do you think? Could something prehistoric still be alive beneath the Great Blue Hole? Number 5. Stonehenge. Scientists understand that to trace the origins of ancient civilizations, they need to look underwater. So far, they have found a thing or two that would have been left undiscovered. One such thing is the huge stone structure submerged off the coast of Sicily. This sighting is older and bigger than Stonehenge, believed to be about 5,000 years old. This monolith is the subject of a paper by Emanuele Laudolo, a marine geophysicist at the National Institute of Oceanography and Experimental Geophysics in Italy. Laudolo and his colleagues V. Ben-Abraham first detected the structure during a high-resolution sonar mapping mission of the seafloor near the Pantelleria Vecchia Bank, a shallow plateau between Sicily and Tunisia. When divers later explored the site, they were stunned to see the massive stone lying in two pieces, its clean edges and perfectly drilled holes unlike anything naturally formed. Further analysis suggested that the monolith had once stood upright, possibly serving as a marker or ceremonial monument for an ancient civilization that thrived when this area was still dry land, before the end of the last ice age. Around 9,500 BCE, rising sea levels flooded the region, submerging entire landscapes and erasing traces of early human settlements. The discovery of this monolith implies that humans in the Mediterranean basin were far more advanced than previously believed, capable of quarrying, transporting, and erecting megalithic structures thousands of years before Stonehenge. Some scientists even speculate that it could have functioned as an ancient navigation point or part of a long-forgotten coastal trading network. Photogrammetric reconstructions of the site show smaller stones scattered nearby, possibly remnants of other structures, hinting that the monolith was once part of a larger complex. The team emphasized that such discoveries redefine our understanding of prehistoric engineering and seafaring knowledge. What once seemed like myth or exaggeration is now solid evidence of early human ingenuity, hidden beneath the Mediterranean's calm surface. The structure is believed to be nearly 12,000 years old. It was revealed by an underwater sonar survey in November 2012. It is 12 meters tall and broken in half. It has 3 holes, one of which passes through the block. Based on research, it was made by humans and didn't occur naturally. Aside from its regular shape and holes of similar diameter, this monolith is made from stone. Its presence suggests serious human activity in the area. Judging from its size, it should weigh at least 15 tons. Number 4. Bimini Road. There have been stories about a lost city hidden underwater for several decades. Atlantis graced the pages of novels and captured the attention of historians and fantasizers. The famous city first appeared in Plato's Timaeus and Critias. In his book, he claimed that there was a battle between Athenians and Atlanteans. However, Atlantis sank into the sea after they fell short of the mercies of God. With several ancient texts having different narratives, one can hardly know which is true. In 1968, a group of divers led by Dr. J. Manson Valentine stumbled upon what they believed could be evidence of the lost city, a series of massive, perfectly aligned stone slabs beneath the crystal-clear waters off Bimini Island. The precision of the layout and the uniformity of the blocks sparked heated debate. Could nature alone have crafted such a symmetrical formation? Some researchers suggested it might be an ancient man-made harbor wall or a road, while skeptics argued it was a natural occurrence caused by the fracturing of limestone over time. What fueled the mystery even more was that Edgar Cayce, a self-proclaimed clairvoyant, had predicted decades earlier that remnants of Atlantis would be found near Bimini around this exact period. His prophecy seemed to come true, and the discovery drew worldwide attention, blending myth with science in a way that still divides experts today. Subsequent dives revealed marine life flourishing between the cracks, coral, sponges, and tropical fish, making the site a haunting mix of history and living color. Some even claim to have found carvings or unnatural angles that hint at ancient craftsmanship, though none have been proven conclusively. To this day, satellite scans and sonar mapping continue to analyze the site, hoping to finally solve the mystery that has lingered for over half a century. Whether natural formation or remnants of a forgotten civilization, the Bimini Road keeps the legend of Atlantis alive beneath the turquoise waves. Many archaeologists have believed in the existence of the Bimini Road, an ancient rock formation off the coast of the Bahamian island. It is said to be connected to the ancient city. It rests 18 feet below the water surface and runs about half a mile before ending in a curving hook. Aside from the road, there are 2 other smaller linear rock formations similar to it. The Bimini Road is made up of limestone blocks cut in a rectangular shape. Each block on the road is 10 to 13 feet long and 7 to 10 feet wide. The limestone that constitutes this road is a carbonate cemented shell native to the Bahamas. Number 3. Ice Finger of Death. Nature surprises us with the most incredible sightings. This spectacular one is called the Icy Fingers of Death. This strange phenomenon that forms underwater icicles is found in oceans in polar regions. It is rarely captured on camera, so it is a big deal when it makes it to the news. In 2011, a BBC crew filming for the series Frozen Planet managed to record one of these deadly spectacles in Antarctica, the first time it had ever been caught on film. Using time-lapse photography and specialized underwater cameras, they documented how a single brinacle formed, twisting and coiling like a frozen tornado beneath the ice. As the brine descended, its path of destruction was mesmerizing yet terrifying. Everything in its way froze solid within minutes. Starfish tried to crawl away but were instantly trapped and encased in ice, creating what looked like an underwater graveyard. The cameraman described the experience as watching death in slow motion. As this ghostly finger reached down to claim the ocean floor, scientists later noted that these brinicles could grow several feet long in just a few hours, forming entire networks of icy tubes under the ice sheets. What's even more astonishing is that these formations are temporary. They melt and disappear once the surrounding temperatures shift, leaving no trace of their frozen massacre. To this day, witnessing a brinacle is one of the rarest and most haunting events in marine exploration, combining both the beauty and brutality of nature in a single, chilling moment. Brinicles are a finger-like structure that reaches down to the ocean floor and freezes everything in its path, including sea urchins and starfish. A professor who witnessed this firsthand described it as an upside-down cactus blown from glass. He also said they were delicate and could break at the slightest touch. Studies show that when sea ice in the Antarctic and Arctic region freezes, salt and other ions found in seawater are left out. Brine is concentrated in salt water and gathers in various channels and fractures. Since it is heavier than water, the ultra-cold brine sinks into the ocean floor and freezes the seawater it touches on its way down. Therefore, we see the finger-like shape of the brinicles. The downward-facing phenomenon was discovered in the 1960s and is similar to hydrothermal vents. These vents form when ion-rich hot water is ejected from the seafloor, creating a porous metal tower extending upwards. Number 2. Crop circles. One of the greatest finds by deep-sea divers is the crop circles underwater. Japanese photographer Yoji Okada captured the circles while on a dive near Amami-Oshima at the southern tip of Japan. He said the sand patterns are almost 6 feet in diameter and almost 80 feet below sea level. He called his colleagues and the television crew to see the mysterious underwater circles. No one would have believed him if he had gone back with the story. When the footage was first aired, it sparked an international sensation. Scientists, artists, and conspiracy theorists all weighed in with wild theories. Some believed the circles were remnants of an ancient civilization. Others insisted they were messages left by extraterrestrials, given their near-perfect geometry. The patterns, with their intricate ridges, spokes, and symmetrical design, looked almost engineered, far too precise, people said, for any sea creature to have made them. It wasn't until years later, with the help of high-definition underwater cameras, that the true artist was revealed. A small, unassuming male puffer fish, no larger than a human hand. Researchers watched in awe as the tiny fish flapped its fins continuously, working day and night for up to a week to shape the perfect circular nest. Each ridge had purpose. The peaks slowed underwater currents, protecting the eggs, while the valleys funneled fine sand into the center for a soft nesting bed. When finished, the structure looked like a piece of underwater architecture, an ephemeral masterpiece destined to vanish with the tides. Even today, divers who come across these crop circles describe them as one of nature's most beautiful mysteries, a blend of art, biology, and devotion hidden beneath the sea. It was later discovered that the culprit was the puffer fish, who by flapping its fins worked tirelessly to carve the circular ridges. Puffer fish are considered a delicacy in Japan. Although they are poisonous, the fish is known to take small shells and crack them to line the inner grooves of their sculpture and decorate their piece. The ridges and grooves attract females. They lay eggs in the center of these undersea circles after the males have prepared the site for them. Before confirming the culprit of these crop circles, there have been speculations that aliens might have a hand in it. Number 1. The Apollo engines. When Jeff Bezos said he wanted to explore the ocean, many scientists didn't take him seriously until results began pouring in. The Amazon founder and CEO found components of two F-1 rocket engines, which he verified as engines from Apollo 11. This rocket was the first mission that took U.S. astronauts to the moon some decades ago. Neil Armstrong stepped his leg onto the moon, and this finding is a remembrance of the exceptional feat the discovery was made after Bezos funded a daring deep-sea expedition that used advanced sonar mapping and remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, to scour the Atlantic Ocean floor, nearly 14,000 feet below the surface. The wreckage was located amid twisted metal and debris, encrusted with layers of marine growth from nearly half a century underwater. The site was surreal, massive, ghostly engines resting silently in the dark, still exuding the aura of humanity's greatest technological triumph. Bezos described the moment as like touching history itself, overwhelmed by the thought that these relics once roared with enough force to pierce Earth's atmosphere. The recovery process took weeks as divers and robotic arms carefully lifted the fragile components, ensuring no damage to the priceless artifacts. When the engines were finally brought to the surface, engineers identified distinct design patterns that matched NASA's original blueprints, confirming their authenticity beyond doubt. The recovered pieces were sent to NASA's Space and Rocket Center for restoration and preservation, where they now stand as a testament to both human ambition and the perseverance to rediscover our own achievements. For Bezos, it wasn't just about exploration, it was about bridging two eras of innovation, the space race of the 1960s and the private exploration age of today. Bezos congratulated the team for the feat as they assured him of doing more to find more details. The F-1 engines powered the Saturn V rocket carrying Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin on the Apollo 11 mission. At an altitude of 38 miles, the engines separated. Its parts were considered lost and destroyed forever. While Bezos wanted to find these engines, he knew the serial numbers were missing, making them difficult to find. Each engine weighs almost 9 tons and comes in a cluster of 5. They provided the machine with 32 million horsepower while burning 6,000 pounds of fuel every second. After its separation, the rocket engines made their re-entry at 5,000 miles per hour. The technology used for this recovery mission is as otherworldly as the Apollo technology. Thanks for watching, and while you're still here, be sure to click the video on your screen for more mind-blowing content. I'll see you there.